Lord Pearson of Rannoch.
My Lords, I beg leave to ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
My Lords, it is just a year since the Finsbury Park terror attack on the mosque, and I'm reminded how the Muslim community acted then with dignity, determination and compassion, as no doubt the Noble Lord is also so reminded. Our government is clear on its strong objective to tackle hate crime. Free speech and freedom of belief are fundamental principles of our society. The government has no plans to require monitoring of preaching in mosques or in any other faith institution.
My Lords, I'm grateful to the Noble Lord for that reply, but I fear it underestimates the problem. Because the government must know that hatred of us kuffar is central to radical Islam, that it is being taught in our mosques and madrasas, and that their own behavioural insights team has said that their present policies are failing. So, my Lords, shouldn't the government get real by requiring all such teaching to be in English as soon as possible, and by insisting on far greater collaboration from our peaceful Muslim friends in the meantime? After all, my Lords, they know what's going on. And, my Lords, will the government please... And, my Lords, will the government please stop using the word Islamophobia? Because it is surely reasonable and not at all phobic to fear the world's most violent ideology, from which indeed most... From which indeed most hate speech now comes.
My Lords, first of all, the government is committed to tackling Islamophobia. Secondly, my Lords, if I could perhaps refresh the Noble Lord's memory, or tell the Noble Lord of two recent visits I've done in relation to faith institutions, one to a mosque in Manchester, an excellent mosque in Gorton, where Jews and Christians were welcomed for a great iftar, and it was a true expression of British Muslim activity. Similarly, on the previous day, I'd visited the Manchester Islamic High School for Girls, where the opening words from the headmistress was how proud she was to be British, but she was also proud to be Muslim.
My Lords, my Lords,
my Lords, my Lords, I don't like to read, but I'm going to be really careful as to how I phrase this with reference to the original question. So could I ask Her Majesty's government whether, in pursuit of their anti-terrorism strategy, they will require preaching in the form of oral questions and debates in your Lordship's house to be monitored for hate speech and Islamophobia against Muslims? And, my Lords, does he agree with me that Tommy Robinson, who has sadly and to much disgust been hosted in your Lordship's house for tea and lunch and is now serving time, I believe, in Her Majesty's prison Hull, is now in a more appropriate place for someone who thinks, speaks and preaches and conducts himself as he does?
My Lords, my noble friend makes some powerful points, and I pay tribute to what she does in this regard. First of all, I do agree with her about the importance of people in this House exercising discretion, of course, within the bounds of free speech about what they say. Secondly, I am aware that Tommy Robinson is in Her Majesty's prison Hull, and I was aware that he was hosted here recently. I was in Hull recently myself, but not on prison visits, on faith visits.
My Lords, the Labour Party has been criticised, and rightly as it is now acknowledged, for failing to respond promptly to claims of anti-Semitism in its ranks. Recently, we've learned of a number of cases of Islamophobia in the Conservative Party, and today it has emerged that 4 weeks ago, the Muslim Council of Britain wrote to Brandon Lewis, the party chairman, requesting an inquiry, to which they received no reply, prompting them to write again yesterday, saying, and I quote, "We cannot have an approach where you are hoping that the issue would magically go away so that it could avoid a bruising inquiry into anti-Muslim prejudice." Will the Noble Lord the Minister, held as he is in the highest regard in this House, use his best endeavours to ensure that his party and the government respond constructively to the concerns expressed on behalf of our Muslim fellow citizens?
My Lords, can I first of all thank the Noble Lord for his kind words, and also his words in relation to anti-Semitism, which does need tackling in all political parties, as does Islamophobia, my Lords, and I fully accept that. He will probably be aware the Prime Minister answered a question in this in PMQs today and made it clear of our determination to deal with this issue. I can't give him an update of a letter that was sent yesterday. That probably will take a bit longer. But there have been suspensions, there have been expulsions, and wherever there is evidence of Islamophobia in our party, it will be severely dealt with, and often with expulsions. And I hope we can look to other political parties to do the same in all religions. This is something that affects all of us, my Lords, and I share the aspiration of the noble Lord that this is properly dealt with.
My Lord.